Assalamualaikum dear students, hope you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIVS Home School. I am Sabreena Haque, assistant teacher of Science, National English Mission School, Basic. Dear students, today I am going to take a science class for class 9 student on the based on biology, and this is our second lecture on annual term, and today we will continue our class on chapter 4. This is our first chapter of annual term. So let us move forward to this chapter. The name of the chapter is Bioenergy. Energetic. Dear students, thousands of biochemical reactions are being continuously carried out in the cells of organism for the maintenance of life. For this reaction, energy is somewhat required. The sun is main source of energy. The green plants transforming solar energy into chemical energy produce the food carbohydrates through the process of photosynthesis. Animals and non-green organisms cannot directly utilize solar energy. They have to depend somehow on green plants for their energy they require for maintenance their life. For main objective of bioenergetic is discuss the energy flow through the living system in this chapter. These cellular processes are discussed. Dear students, the bioenergetic and the role of ATP. The basic metabolism of the production or utilization of energy in the body of a living organism is its bioenergy. Dear students, this is the definition of bioenergy, and you have to learn this, and this is not very different from the definition of energy given in physics, and this chapter is related to your biochemistry. And the energy we get from making the breaking of chemical bond in the molecules found in biochemical organism is called by this name. The living organism continuously collects energy from the environment, transform them from one form into another, something preserve them and release them again in environment. Dear students, look here, they give the picture. There is something new to you in this chapter. We will get some new things to you. The new word is adenosine. This adenosine, we will learn about the adenosine in our HSC level. This adenosine is stored in our DNA, and this is the nitrogen base, and in adenosine added triphosphate group, and here we are learning ATP, ADP and AMP. That means adenosine triphosphate, adenosine diphosphate, adenosine monophosphate. Now come to here ATP. It means we know tri means 3, di means 2, mono means 1, and in ADP here with adenosine there is 3 phosphate radicals join PH4, 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 and here in ADP there is 2 phosphate radical. If we are thinking it has 3 hands, one hand is empty, one hand is empty. That's why only 2 hand is here fill up, that's why it is diphosphate. It is ADP. And if it is the phosphate group, it is the phosphate radical. Now come to MP. With the adenosine, only one phosphate radical. And here if it is it has 3 phosphate radical, it will be ATP. And you have to remember another thing, when adenosine join with a phosphate radical, that bond, this is a chemical bond, adenosine joined with a phosphate radical, and this bond has 7.3 kilocalorie this bond just need, this bond need, or this bond just hold 7.3 kilocalorie energy. When this bond break down, this bond will release 7.3 kilocalorie energy. That means when adenosine monophosphate turns to adenosine diphosphate, we have to give 7.3 kilocalorie. And when we want to get from adenosine diphosphate to adenosine triphosphate, we have to give 7.3 kilocalorie. That means when we eat food, we give the energy. That time adenosine diphosphate become adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine diphosphate get 7.3 kilocalorie energy and it become adenosine triphosphate. And when we that use up that energy, and when we work and that means I am talking with you and I am writing, and I use my energy, that time I lose some energy, I use some energy, that used energy. How I used energy? I just break that bond and I lose the energy, and that adenosine triphosphate again become adenosine diphosphate, and this adenosine triphosphate lose minus adenosine triphosphate minus 7 decimal 3 kilocalorie, and it become adenosine diphosphate, because when we need the energy, that time we use ATP. That's why ATP is known as biological coin. When we need the energy, we use the ATP. That's why it is known as biological coin. Now come to why this chapter is related to the photosynthesis, why this is come here, because photosynthesis is happen to the plant. Plant is do not eat, plants make their own food. Then why you are saying about food, but plants also get the energy from the sun. How? From the sunlight, we all know. And in the leaf, the plants have the ADP, and the sunlight come as photon. Sunlight come as photon, and in the photon, sunlight has the inorganic phosphate. Inorganic in the sunlight provide with the photon the inorganic phosphate. The ADP, inorganic phosphate, join with ADP and it produce ATP. It produce ATP. And I have told this chapter is related to the photosynthesis, and in the introductory part, we have already discussed that we are going to discuss about the photosynthesis. The main topic of ours is photosynthesis, and because we are making the ATP, and we already learned the ATP is known as the biological coin. ATP is known as the biological coin. Our main topic is photosynthesis, and next part of the chapter is respiration. Now we will start with our chapter with photosynthesis. We will discuss a little part of the photosynthesis today. An important feature of a green plant is that they produce carbohydrate from carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight. In green plants, the process of formation of carbohydrate in the presence of, in green plants, the process of formation of carbohydrate is called photosynthesis. In the process, the light energy is transformed into chemical energy. The food produced by the green plants is used to accomplish the metabolic process required for its survival, and remaining food is stored in fruits, stem or leaves. The existence of mankind and other living creatures depends on food produced and stored in plants. The other living creatures depends on the food produced and stored in plants. The other living creatures depends on the food produced and stored in the plant. The essential component for photosynthesis, first one, chlorophyll, light, water, carbon dioxide. Dear students, we all learned this in our previous classes. Without these four components, that photosynthesis procedure can't happen. This is the essential component: chlorophyll, light, water, carbon dioxide. Then carbon dioxide from atmosphere, chlorophyll which is stored in our leaf, light that is sunlight, water which is taken from the soil and stored in the leaf, taken from the soil, but that water have to stay in the leaf. And photosynthesis is a biochemical reaction. That reaction is shown below. That is 6 carbon dioxide react with. The carbon dioxide react with 6 carbon dioxide react with 12 molecules of water in presence of sunlight, and inside the chlorophyll that produce glucose, and again it is the byproduct 6 molecule of water and the 6 molecule of oxygen. 6 molecule of water and 6 molecule of oxygen. The main product here, the glucose. Everything is occurring here for making the glucose. For making the glucose. The mesophyll tissue of the leaf is the main site of the photosynthesis. Terrestrial green plants absorb water from the soil through their roots and send it to the chloroplast. In the mesophyll tissue, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is absorbed through the stomata and sent it to the same chloroplast. Aquatic plants absorb the carbon dioxide which is dissolved in water. The presence of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and the water is 0.03% and 3% respectively. This is too much important for your MCQ. In atmosphere there is 0.03% and in water there is 3% respectively. That's why the rate of photosynthesis is higher in the aquatic plants than the terrestrial plants. Now, oxygen and water is the byproduct. This is also important for your MCQ. That oxygen and water, not the left side water, but the right side water is the byproduct of the photosynthesis. So, an oxidation reduction process. This process is known as an oxidation reduction process. This is an oxidation reduction process, and in this process water is an oxidized and carbon dioxide is reduced. And next, in our next class, I will discuss about this, how the water is oxidized and the carbon dioxide will reduced, and the total photosynthesis procedure divided by the British physiologist Blackman into 2 phases. One is light dependent phase and another is light independent phase. In which year? 1905. The total photosynthesis procedure in 1905, the British physiologist Blackman divided into 2 phases. One is light dependent. British photosynthesis, black man, divided the total photosynthesis procedure into two phases. One is light another is light phase. One is light dependent phase, another is light independent phase. Light dependent phase need the light, light dependent phase need the light. Some of the part today I discussed, a little part I discussed, that means in that part ATP formed. Not only ATP formed, some other thing also formed, that means the light energy turns into chemical energy in the light dependent part. The rest part is happened in the light independent part. That not means the light independent parts occur in the night. Light independent phase means this part do not need light. Light independent phase means for this phase light is not needed. This phase can happen on day, but for this phase light is not necessary. For this phase light is not necessary. That's why this phase is known as light independent phase. The next day we will discuss about that part also. Dear students, comes to your today's homework. This will be your homework number 1. The question 1 will be that all are knowledge based question. You have to write the question answer. Why ATP is called biological coin? Next question is what is photosynthesis? Next one is write the names of the phases of photosynthesis. And last question is how much energy released when a phosphate group is removed? That will be from adenosine. Dear students, I have finished my today's class. Hope you have understood. Read the chapter properly. Do the SW. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.